So it's been a minute. Still alive, still not dead. Um, I have a friend that d- builds a lot in the game, and I think, at least in my opinion, he struggled. The only thing he struggles with is what to do with the shit that doesn't look right in a camp. Like you can build certain camps where you need a generator to power a thing, but the thing doesn't necessarily look like it should need power, but the generator doesn't look right in the build. Or the weather station, like there really isn't any weather station that looks right in most builds. And there's a really easy way to get rid of that shit. Um that I don't see anybody using. But then I was like, well, you can do this thing. And then I was like, well, let me look on it on YouTube and I'll find a video, right? And I'll show you a video of how to do it real quick because it's super easy. And then I look and there's no video that's fucking easy. Like there's people trying to fuck a violin on the stairs. There's people putting a symptomatic on like 13 different rugs. And it's like literally this shit does not have to be this fucking complicated. So I'm like, all right, listen, I'll make you a video and I'll just do it with the things that I use. And then obviously you can do it 1,000 different ways. Okay, because some people won't have the symptomatic, so you could use the alien bed. Same thing, works the same exact way. Some people might not have this flower pot, so you could use any other pretty much decoration thing. All you need is something that will let you put this. See how this just lifts up slightly? You just want to put it just enough that it lifts up like that. And then you grab your flower pot and you come over here. But what you do is you take this and you move it just a little bit and you let it go. And you see how it depressed? Now you don't have to fucking stand on the thing and look straight down at it and have it be awkward. Then you just put your thing on here and you just keep selecting and letting go of the pot. And you see how the symptomatic comes down? And you just keep doing this. And you do this and it takes forever. And now I'm in a private server, which I would strongly recommend that if you have private server that you do this in a private. Because in the regular game, like especially right now when the big bloom event's going on and shit, like this will lag the fuck out like crazy. And you end up with this weird thing where there's like a pot you can't delete and shit. And like that can work really good for like if you're trying to build up into the sky. So like, that has its purpose, but this isn't a time where that's anything but just fucking annoying. But you do this. And I mean, it's up to you. Some people, you can leave some of this up. This could be a permanent thing. You could use this as a way to get to your underground base. There's all sorts of different fucking things you can do with this situation. But what I want to just show is my friend how to use this method to put shit that doesn't look like it belongs in a camp, but that you want at the camp, but so that you don't have to have it looking stupid in your fucking camp. All right? Now, let's say, for example, you're going to want to take something that's here and you're going to eventually want it to be underground, right? Well, you can't. Well, you can't. I'll explain later why, but you can't. So what you want to do is hit V again to get into your 3D or your whatever the fuck you want to call it, build mode, where you could like select this and then get back out of it again. Okay? Now you want to escape build mode and you want to get in your symptomatic. Okay, now here's the part where people, I think, use the rug because they think they fucking need it, but you don't. When you step out of the symptomatic, you do not fall. There's a little bit of a ring around the symptomatic that you can fucking stand on. See, I'm out of the symptomatic and I'm not falling to the ground. So now I can open build mode. And I could put some floors. So let's put some floors down. Now I get onto my floor that's down here. And then if I hit my thing again to go back into that out of your person build mode thing, now I'm above the ground, right? So now I can grab this stupid looking fucking camp device, go back out of this build mode into my person build mode, and now my stupid looking camp device that does not look good in a fucking camp is down here under the fucking ground instead of at my camp where you don't have to fucking see it. Right? Now I can put my man, I actually don't like this new build mode thing. It's complicated for me to navigate around. Like, it's not that it's not good, it's just not, doesn't feel natural for me to navigate around it. But then I can put my what is that? It's under utilities, right? My weather station, which I can't, already have one. Shit. It's in, and we could say, let's pick one that we know is, we could visually see, right? And let's, while we're at it, let's put a vendor here, because I'll show you the other thing that you can do with this. And now we'll connect the weather station. And you don't need to connect the vendor, but let's connect the vendor because it's, no, it doesn't matter, right? And now you're like, well, shit, how do I get back up to the earth? Okay, well, you just do this. And you go, you fall a little distance, and then it puts you back, well, or that happens sometimes. You got to get away from your base a little bit so that when it spawns you back up top, it doesn't spawn you over your base. But you only have to do this theoretically once, because if you build a base underground, you'll have this as your way to get in and out. So breaking your leg is only really a one-time thing. But now I have a weather station at my camp without having the stupid weather station, right? But then what else do I have? Let me go back into build mode, and I'll show you what else I've created for myself. Camp pieces, whoops, camp pieces, shelters. Let's put this fucking shelter down. Because now, what I've created for myself, whoops, is a camp that is a vault, but shows that it has a fucking vendor. Because if you build a camp, you laid out your camp, right, and you drop your vault, and your vault has a vendor in it, no one on the map can see that your camp has a vendor. Your camp has to have a vendor. Okay, now my camp has a vendor, but if you have a vendor sitting here, and then you have your vault sitting here, nobody's going to go in your fucking vault to see what you built in your vault. So now I have a vendor, which has attracted people to my camp. But now the only way for you to get to my vendor is to go into my vault. So now I've just forced your hand to go in and see what I built inside of my vault. See how fucking easy that is? And then, and that's the other thing that I'll cover here since I did it, is I built this vault where now I don't have access to the door anymore, right? Well, it's easy to get out of it. You just fast travel back to your camp. Or if you're a player and you go to somebody's camp, and you could obviously just, you know, fast travel to a different camp or back to your camp or wherever you wanted to go. So that's not a problem. But I like that vault, like, it looks like dog shit inside, and so I just hide all of it. But that's how you solve all those problems. You could put all the shit you don't want to look at under the fucking ground. You could also put a vending machine under the ground to force people's hand to go look in your vault and see all the shit that you spent all your time building. Because players are always going to take the path of least resistance. If there's a vending machine here, they're going to use the vending machine. They're not going to go into your vault. I'm not saying, yes, I understand there's going to be players that are going to come here and they're going to throw some goddamn giant salt storm and they're going to fucking leave. You're going to miss one or two people here and there that don't want to go into your fucking vault to get to your vendor. But most people will go, oh, okay. And they'll just go into your vault. So that's how you solve that problem and that problem. And I would go even farther and I would show you how to add your survival tent to your camp. But I don't think you could do that anymore. At least I'm still trying to figure out a way to be able to do it again. But your easiest way to get under the ground is to sink the symptomatic or the alien bed over a decoration object. And you don't need to put it on a rug. You don't need to use 2 rugs. I understand that if you're a brand new player and you don't have anything, you might, but I mean, you don't spawn into the game with the plans for a fucking violin either. And I feel like, getting to level 20 and running a couple of daily ops with a few high levels to carry you and getting a plan for the symptomatic is not fucking hard. Asking a friend that's been playing the game for a few months, that's probably the reason why you picked up this game anyway. Hey, you got an extra plan for the symptomatic? I don't think that's that hard. So I don't think you need to make a fucking video about fucking a violin onto a fucking stairs to get under the ground. I think it's really easy. And I think the other thing that people need to start talking about is how you can move the pressure plate to lower it, and you don't have to fucking stand on the goddamn thing. Okay? So I feel like I gave you guys a bunch of helpful information in this video. But anyways, I've been 7.
I'm old, I know, got more years than teeth, but I still show up for this little screen. Thanks for watching me, hit subscribe, come back, thanks for watching me.